Hello, good morning, and good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another live stream event with a Seal Talksaw. My name is Edward, and I feel really happy and lucky to be here with all of you for this extraordinary time that we're all going through together. And as part of this journey that we're all on together, we decided to make this work as available as we could by offering 2 live streams a week ongoing, one on Wednesday, which is at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and this one on Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And additionally, a call for integration and community to allow us, as we're in our homes, to deepen our practice together. So thank you for taking the opportunity to join today. I've had the opportunity to watch Ascension grow into this journey over the past couple of years. And the work that he's done has evolved out of a variety of different spiritual traditions that he's been practicing for over about 18 years. Somewhere around 5 years ago, he had a really strong spiritual experience that opened up this connection that today he refers to as the channel. And this is a kind of a connection to both energy that can come through as well as wisdom that comes through during these sessions. And so through this connection, energy comes through and can actually reach all of those who are tuned in to the live stream. And this energy will allow you a few things to kind of go deeper into your meditation, to perhaps start to receive information, to release old patterns, and the information might come to you in a form of either of spoken transmission that you might hear, or clarity, or visions, or a sense of inner knowing. For a seal, it's if you haven't seen it before, the process for him to go into a trance to embody the energies and the guides that come in will include some sometimes strong or vigorous movements of his body and hands, sometimes some shaking and elevated breathing, and all of this is a normal part of his process, and he's totally fine. And you should also know that his everyday human consciousness is available to him the whole time while he's channeling, and he can stop the embodiment at any time should he so choose. The channel, this energetic channel, will bring through guides that introduce themselves with the names that humanity has given them in the past. And so some of you might recognize the names that they use as names like angels or archangels, but they've never actually specifically said that we are angels or we are archangels. Based on the information that they've shared, additionally, they may be quite old, maybe millions of years old or more. So initially, he'll establish an energy field, and there are going to be 2 parts to the session. This group energetic alignment, which will be conducted by the guide named Raphael, followed by a kind of question and answer period with the guide Emmanuel. During the session with Raphael, to best experience that, what we'd invite you to do is essentially set an intention to open your mind and open your heart and to receive and say yes to this healing experience or this alignment experience. And you'll find it can go quite deep. You can also choose to set an intention to release old wounds, thoughts, emotions that no longer serve. All of this is to allow for a deeper alignment and stronger presence. And additionally, you can also choose to bring loved ones into your mind or into your heart, and so that they might receive some of the benefits of this alignment work as well. Once the healing portion is complete, as I said, Emmanuel will begin a spoken transmission and share wisdom. And he'll also open the opportunity for people to ask questions. If you'd like to ask a question, feel free to type it into the chat in Crowdcast, and we'll select some of the questions. The questions that will work the best for this session are those that are very clear and short and succinct. You don't need a long preamble or long story for Emmanuel to be able to understand the situation that you're in. And sometimes complex multi-part questions can be really challenging in a variety of ways. So let's just keep the questions nice and short. And additionally, you might find that as you deepen into your own practice, some of the questions that you have may be answered if you ask them to yourself silently. So we are recording the audio and video today, and we will be providing this video available to you ongoing, as well as a transcript of the spoken transmission. We also have a Crowdcast poll running to check in on how you're doing before the session, and another poll for after the session. It's a very simple question with a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being not aligned at all, and 5 being very aligned. And then the second question is, how are you feeling after the session? Again, so we offer these sessions right now as widely as possible with no monetary barrier to entry, because the guides have shared, and we also believe that they're very critical to be able to reach as many people as possible all over the world, regardless of their financial situation. As a result, people who are able to contribute, we'd love to invite them to offer a donation out of generosity and support. Not only does it support Aseel, but it supports the whole production team. And thank you so much for those who donated during the last session. If you find this of value, please consider supporting this session with a donation today via the link on the Crowdcast or just via PayPal at donate@ascension.one. Again, we invite you to listen deeply with an open mind and an open heart, and we recommend that you listen in a space where you can be totally uninterrupted with all distractions, electronic or otherwise, turned off. And please try to tune in throughout the entire session. As the session ends, we'll sit together in silence for a few minutes, and this should give us all enough time to land back in our bodies and be ready for whatever's next. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will look forward to seeing you soon.
Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome, and thank you for joining. It seems that these times, unprecedented in our lifetime, in this generation, give us an incredible opportunity to witness and challenge on a entirely different level than we've ever witnessed or experienced. It has certainly changed my level of gratitude for what I have. It has certainly changed my level of expectations about plans and future and expectations of certainty. And if you are in a place where you have the time and the space to grow, to evolve, then this is an incredible opportunity to really turn this period of time into maybe the most powerful transformation in your life. The most powerful transformation of your life. It may be enforced by the circumstances. Yet, what if the circumstances are just part of our transformation anyways? The impulse that we need. When you lean into the energy, when you go into your meditative space, sitting or lying, and you feel different energies coming inside of you, a warmth or an electricity, a tingling, maybe even a slight shaking, that's all normal. It's basically when the energy levels are rising and the field that's created here is connecting to all the people that are present and have put their attention into this space. The energy flows to all those that are willing and ready to receive. So announce in your mind, in your heart, that you're ready to receive. And make yourself as open as possible. Thank you. Greetings, I'm Raphael. Thank you for receiving this work. This work has been in the planning for thousands of years of your time. The agreement to support humanity through an ascension process was made by forms of consciousness that some of you have considered as gods, creators, civilizations that have existed much longer than you have. While part of this creation is truly established by the making of higher consciousness, your existence flows in this form in a fairly self-created way. Your reality, your experiences, the situations that you face, the ecosystem that has developed, the infrastructures and the structures that were created by nature and that were created by you are all part of free will, choices, and the way human consciousness evolves within the constructs that have been provided as the fertile environment for consciousness to evolve. You are an expression of human consciousness, individualized in a single unit, experiencing identity and individuality, experiencing this reality and all that arises from your perspective. You are never separated from the rest of human consciousness. You are never separated from all of consciousness. Yet, due to this individualized experience, the perspective that you have is on the forefront. Your individual perspective, your individual identity, your individual experience. Yet understand that even all your experiences are never truly just for you. They are for the entirety of human consciousness. Through your experience and through your learning, human consciousness evolves. The transformation of your experiences into realizations through your own effort and doing is your gift to all of humankind. You have come this far, and you have turned many experiences into realizations, some of which are considered to be complete, and open the space for new experiences and learning. Some experiences are not complete yet. They are suppressed. They are hidden. And they operate from places that are not in awareness. Some of it is consciously pushed away by you. Some of it is subconsciously held back. This moment is an opportunity for you to safely unfold that which is hidden, that which is held back and suppressed. We will allow you to experience and see the emotions, the underlying constructs of your mind, the memories, in a safe way, in a way that you can observe without truly being impacted. A certain distance allows the observation of past experiences without reliving them. Make use of this gift. Take the time that you need, and the priority that you put on it will be rewarded. Thank you for receiving this work. Thank you for receiving this work. My work is complete. Greetings, my name is Emmanuel. All the many times that you have witnessed yourself in growth stages. First, you experience the pain, a discomfort, a dis-ease, an impulse from outside or an impulse from inside. There is a reaction, a physical, emotional, or mental reaction to this impulse. There is emotion that arises. There are thoughts that arise to make sense of this experience. There is bodily reactions to adjust to the impulse. All of this natural part of your existence. In this continued cycle, you live. Life is a continuous reaction to impulses from your environment. Some of these impulses you react in a more conscious way, and others you react automatically, subconsciously, or in an unconscious way. It has become a construct, a behavior, or a habit. Some of these habits and behaviors you are aware of, and some you're not. Your presence in the moment will allow you to see more clearly in all the ways you respond to the impulses of your environment. An increased depth, an increased quality in your presence will bring forth the information and the awareness necessary to understand yourself, to observe all that is within you. It will not prevent you from experiencing challenging moments. It will not prevent you from experiencing pain. It will not prevent you from having thoughts, opinions, or possibly judgments. And emotions will always be part of your existence. Yet you become aware how long the emotion and how conscious the emotion is to be experienced. You become aware of the singular aspects of the thoughts that arise, the meanings that are attached to the experience based on past experiences. All of this an opportunity for you to understand and to realize with each step of the way, with each experience, with each response. Will you observe? Will you make the time and the space to understand yourself in a more detailed and nuanced way? Will you allow yourself to transform habits and behaviors formed based on past experience? Will you allow, through this transformation, to open to new possibilities, new ways of responding to the impulses around you, new ways of acting, new ways of reacting, and a deeper sense of curiosity for what each moment brings forth for you? This is my suggestion for you. It can be as simple as what I have explained. No complex methods are required. No practices, no mastery required. Purely dedication and determination. Some level of priority of the importance of this work for your expansion, for your evolution, and for your self-realization. Thank you for listening to my words. I will now answer some of your questions.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Barbara asks, despite the experience I have of awakening, it feels I'm still fighting my shadow and the way it manifests in my life through addictive behavior. How do I surrender more deeply to transcend this fight inside me?
The awakening process of an individual is a continued journey. Even though certain moments will stand out as peak experiences and clear milestones, the journey of awakening will continue until self-realization is completed. On this journey, the experiences will increase in intensity. Personal transformation will get to the deepest levels possible. Deep challenges within will arise, challenges of your own being, challenges that are connected to your ancestry, and challenges that are connected to society. You become a transformation vessel for all that requires to be transformed. Your addictive behaviors are part of the transformation you are completing, not just on your behalf, but on behalf of society and humanity. Understand and observe all those that have struggled with filling the void inside through addictive behaviors. Experience the various types of pains, the various types of disconnect, the various types of lack, the unfulfilled wants and desires completed through an external vehicle. A dependency was formed, yet came with a price. A deeper inquiry is necessary, a deeper inquiry into not just only your behavior and the way it has been formed, yet also the behaviors of your ancestry, and how this lack and disconnect in the first place has been established, how this lack and disconnect has been fueled and nourished by society, by humanity. Through this deep inquiry, you will allow yourself to observe this disconnect, to fully understand how it has arrived within you and became part of your transformational journey. Continuous observation will lead to realization, and these realizations will start to reconfigure the addictive behaviors that have been put into place. Thank you for your question, and blessings on this journey.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Joe asks a question. Relationship codependence began when I was a child and still expresses itself through my adult relationships. How can we as humans truly overcome codependent dynamics in relationship?
You are continuously connected to your environment, the earth that is around you, the sky and the universe that is around you, and all of the humans that are around you. This continuous connection between you and your environment is a natural bond that exists. A complete, separated experience is merely an illusion of the mind. Understand and appreciate that you are your environment. You are part of others' environments as well. This perspective will set the initial foundation for a transformation to come. Dependency and codependency arises when the environment fills a gap within your being, a gap that formulates through the mind and the heart, a missing piece that you have not found ways to fill yourself yet. And it has become an easy pathway to fill this gap with someone or something from outside. This someone or this something has become now an assistant in building your awareness around the gap inside of you. It has become a direct pointer for you to explore this part of you that requires attention. Understand in which ways you have kept yourself from loving yourself. Understand in which ways you have reduced your self-perception. Understand in which ways you have allowed others and the outside environment to be your sole source for love and connection. Experience the love of creation that fills you continuously, that is present to you at all times in unlimited ways and eternally until the very end of this life experience. Once you tie your consciousness, your heart and your mind, your body to this love of creation, then you will see that other forms of love, other forms of filling the gaps inside will take lower priority, and the codependency will become less impactful and relevant in your life, with the realizations that will arise from your reflections and observations. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Claire asks, I've read that the purpose of evil is so that we can learn to exercise our free will and our souls will learn lessons and evolve. Is this true? It is hard for me to see any purpose in suffering.
the impulse to grow, exists in a fine balance between creation and destruction, light and dark, polar opposites, operating on this plane, providing for the balance that is required, allowing for you to have the experience that you are having, and the opportunity to continuously grow. Some of these destructive forces are small and perceived as nuances. Some of the destructive forces are major and are perceived as dark or even evil, as you said. Attaching meaning and emotional perspectives to the creative and destructive forces won't serve you, as they will continue to exist until the very end of this plane. The impulse to grow happens in the balance and in the neutrality of your observation between the creative and the destructive forces that exist. Destruction creates space for new creation, an evolved creation continuously adjusting to the constructs that have not withstood the challenges that are provided by destructive forces. This is how nature evolved to the point that it is. This is how you have evolved to the point that you are. All of humanity has come to this place because of the construct that exists. Suffering is optional. Pain and challenges might not. While you might observe the major difficulties of humanity to be a punishment or an evil that requires to be avoided, we see these movements as destructive forces that bring forth a new way of thinking, a new way of living, an expansion of consciousness, a powerful mirror to reflect on the choices that have been made, on the choices that will be made, on how actions are chosen, and what kind of emotions are processed. Destruction and creation carry equal value in our perspective. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Zach asked the question, in times of crisis like these, how can we identify true spiritual teachers? And what will the teachers of the future need to be like for humans to actualize their true nature?
In crises like these, all humans will be challenged, including teachers, including those that have gained a certain level of mastery. Remember to be kind to yourself and to your perception of others as they go through their own evolution, as they go through their own challenges. And teachers, masters of various lineages, pillars of light, will certainly require their own space and time to realign to the challenge itself. The key will be to observe how quickly they can return to the space that they hold. How quickly they can adjust to the circumstances based on what they have learned and what they have realized in the moment. Are they flexible and willing to change in the face of challenges? Are they rigid in their ways and stuck in old constructs that served a long time before? Will they allow this new energy, these higher frequencies, to arrive in the space as being a vessel, an opening for others to experience this light? These are questions for you to reflect on, for you to discern with a feeling of resonance inside of you. Your heart, your body, and your mind are very capable of discerning of what kind of teaching, wisdom, assistance, and guidance to follow. Your ability to discern will increase with your depth and quality of presence. The future will bring forth many new teachers, many new masters and leaders that are operating from the adjusted frequency for their consciousness, for human consciousness. Present, open, continuously in a process of realignment and purification if necessary, until the individual is self-realized. The process of their growth continues. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Stephanie asks, how can we help those who don't have the privilege or means to comprehend spiritual fulfillment or evolution, especially those living in psychiatric facilities with mental disorders or with criminal backgrounds?
There are many different ways for a human being to evolve, for its consciousness to evolve. Not all ways are the ways you experience spiritual development. Some ways are internalized and operate from different states of being, dream states, unconscious or subconscious states. The environment continuously provides for a consciousness evolution. This current moment you have consciously chosen to be in this experience to support your own spiritual development, your own evolution. Others have different ways to develop their spiritual, their energetic, their mental and emotional beings. Appreciate that the right individual will find the right and fitting experience for their spiritual development. Aside from this form of realization, you, as a developing individual, can always practice your presence with others. The transformation within you open new perspectives, will open new possibilities, and a new level of trust and faith in transformation, in evolution, and in realization. You become the key for others' evolution. The privilege to live a human life comes with the privileges to realize and to self-realize. The format and the medium in which this self-realization occurs is not measured by the means and the circumstances the individual is experiencing. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Shakala asks, I would like to get your point of view about the real meaning of crucifixion and the resurrection experienced by Jesus.
The crucifixion and the resurrection of Jesus Christ was indeed a final surrender of the lifetime that he has lived to provide and to display the level of faith that he had in creation, the love that he had for life itself, including death, the way it is combined with life. Understanding that through this transformation, all that is within will be transformed, a new perspective will be gained, the new realization will be arisen within him. The perspective of total and full surrender, including the lifetime that has been gifted for the benefit of his own full enlightenment, as well as the impact that this would have on all others. The eternal trust placed in the creation that provided his life and his lifetime, and the trust in creation that would take this lifetime away. The resurrection was part of this trust and enlightenment process. He had achieved the energetic levels to ascend to a higher plane of existence. Exiting the cycles of human experience, of human life, to provide an energetic bond and connection to humanity on a continuous basis. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Mark asks the question, there are religious references to a war in heaven led by angels against dragons. Is this real or a myth? And who are these angels and who are these dragons? Does this myth or story hold significance for us on Earth?
Many forms of conflict have been executed in non-material form. Even in higher planes, duality continues to exist until the highest planes are reached. These experiences that you refer to have indeed existed on this plane before the full establishment of this container for human existence. It was required to establish a container that would be safe, impenetrable, and without the influence from outside forces. It was important to establish this container, even if it required force against other forces that first intended to influence this experience. The simplification in human language will not do justice to the civilizations and beings that were involved in this conflict. Many forms of conflict have existed without the perception of humanity, and some within the perception of humanity. There is no particular significance to this knowledge aside from that you are protected and watched over until this human experience is complete. The container, this place of incubation, will serve in its highest integrity until humanity has completed its ascension process. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Ernesta asks, how can I release specific people from my life and my mind?
first and foremost understand the importance that these individuals have played in your life. The power, the beauty, and the challenge that came all together was sacred equally. Find a place in your heart that carries gratitude for their existence, gratitude for all the challenges that they have brought, and the gratitude for the learnings that you have gained through these challenges, the growth that you have experienced through these challenges, the love that you have found through these challenges. As you start to continue, as you start to experience these forms of gratitude for the individual, and these realizations arise in your own being, you will see that the influence of the individual's existence in your life will start to subside. Resistance and recurring relationship patterns and insistence of another being in your life is often connected to an unprocessed, unappreciated aspect of your own being. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Rawan asks, what happens to a person who is self-realized? Do they go on living? How is their experience different?
An individual who has reached the state of self-realization will have the option of continuing in a human form or completing the human form, to continue to be in a state of existence and full awareness in non-material form, in a higher plane of existence. A self-realized individual that continues the human form will serve as an opening to this divine love of creation that has been immersed in its being. All of its existence is now a channel for this love of creation. In unconditional ways, it will flow through this individual. In unconditional ways, it will provide for the benefit of others. The individual will no longer require the intake of food for survival. The individual will no longer experience sickness and disease in the way others in human form experience. The individual can live continuously in human form without aging. This is the power that is unleashed upon the achievement of this state of being. Many more forms of gifts will have arisen by the time the individual has reached a state. and it will be to their discretion to utilize these gifts for the benefit of others. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. B asks, I am feeling a lot of grief this week. Is there any information that can be offered on this profound grief?
Humanity has experienced many forms of emotions, yet grief, mourning, and sadness have been identified as emotions inappropriate for society. For several generations, these emotions have been suppressed by individuals as well as by society. Happiness had become the new goal, the new direction for all, and all that were not happy were perceived of being in a state of incomplete existence. The way we perceive emotions, they all carry wisdom, they all carry value, and emotions that have not been expressed in a specific moment in time will return to be expressed, and further suppression will create a more intensified response of that particular emotion. The grief that has been suppressed by individuals and by society is now coming to surface to be experienced by those that are truly sensitive and open, feeling all that is arising in human existence, in human society. Allow yourself to feel this emotion without judgment, without the reflection that there is anything wrong with you. Imagine yourself to be a river. Imagine this flow of life, the water of life continuously moving through. Grief will be similar. Allow this grief to move through without attaching, without identifying with the grief itself, allowing it to express itself through tears and sadness, through pain. Let it move through you like the water moves through a river. You will see eventually the water will clear and the life force will be more remnant of the love of creation that is continuously surrounding you. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Daniela asks, often I experience what feels like an accumulation of stagnant energy in my body, sometimes expressed as digestive distress, bloating, restlessness in my legs, or contraction in my throat. How can I best move this energy and heal this?
You have opened yourself up to feel more than the individual human being feels. this gift has come with certain consequences. An immediate response of the body, an immediate response of your emotional being and your mental being. The adjustments required to hold the space for this particular gift have not been fully established yet. Your bodily container, your emotional and mental container require more attention and a stronger foundation to hold the power that this gift brings along with it. Societal energies, humanity's energies, are forces stronger than a normal human being should ever witness. Yet, some of you will come with this gift that I have described, and it will become a requirement to create the foundations to hold this gift in its most powerful and benevolent way for you, without the gift becoming a burden. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Alexandra asks, is helping others limited to the waking state here and now? Sometimes it feels like in the dream state, others seem to be helping others.
Assistance to others happens on multiple levels of your existence. On a physical level, on an emotional, mental level, on an energetic, on a spiritual level. All of these in a conscious way, all of these in a subconscious way, in different states of existence, in different states of your mind and your consciousness. This form of assistance, connection, and bond continues to support others. They can truly receive without your conscious doing. Your proclamation to assist others, your ability to serve in subconscious or unconscious states, will provide for assistance for those that are open to receive. Often this gift will come with its own form of evaluation and direction of the energy. Relax into the understanding that this gift will do exactly what it needs to do in a self-directed way without the necessity of a conscious control. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Hadia asks, why am I not finding the right partner? Is this not meant for me?
Partnership in human form is a gift of reflection, is a gift of connection, is a gift of experiencing conditional and unconditional love. All relationships serve this purpose, including deep, romantic, and intimate relationships. individuals will go through phases of solitude and disconnect in order to come to specific realizations, first by themselves, and secondary in interaction and in connection with another individual being. The relationship itself then becomes a growth process for the individual. You are currently in a stage of development and growth that requires your attention on yourself. This phase can take as long or as short as you want it to be, yet it will require deeper inquiry inside, a deeper inner reflection, and allowing yourself to truly transform what you believe about yourself to be true. Changing these beliefs, changing these perspectives would transform your relationship with yourself, and through which it will open many doorways for relationships with others. Thank you for your question. Thank you for the time that you have taken to be with us, to receive this work, to listen to the words that I have to share. May this work serve you in the best possible way in your growth and in the growth of all those around you. Timeless, eternal, unlimited, without boundaries. Conscious yet unconscious. This continuous state of love, bliss, and existence. It's good to share this space with you. It's good for me too. I have much love and appreciation and a lot of respect for all those that understand the importance of this journey and that show dedication and devotion and are really determined to evolve and to grow. I see you. And I'm really happy that we can be on this journey together. Thank you for joining.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take your time to land back in your body and stay in quiet as long as you need to. This helps allow you to fully receive the work and the words that came through during this session. Don't be in a rush to get up and go do all the other things. You can just hang out for a bit. For a lot of people, these sessions can be quite strong, and so just reflect on what you need. A lot of people ask us who are touched by these sessions, how can we help? Well, there's a few simple ways. We've been asked by the guides to share the work as widely as we can. So that looks like, telling some of your friends about it if you had a good experience, liking our page on Facebook, or even purchasing the book that we've created, a compilation of some of these channelings. You can get that on Amazon. And also, it's worth knowing that this is just part of the work that we do. Another important part of SEAL's work is to travel to both sacred sites all over the world and to sites of global trauma to do energetic alignment work on the land itself. And this actually helps create a kind of a connected fabric to allow the land to hold an energy of awakening. Once we're able to travel again, we'll be doing more of this work. All of the sessions that we do and all of this travel work that we do is done with the support of your donations. And the sessions that we do here are done with no monetary barrier to entry, because we believe it's critical to reach as many people as we can, regardless of what kind of resources that they have access to. As a result, those with resources, we would appreciate them to be willing to support this work with a spirit of generosity. It not only supports Asil, but the whole production team. And thank you so much to those who donated to the last session. If you feel this session to be of value, please consider supporting it with a donation today, either through the link on Crowdcast or to the email address donate@ascension.one. Go ahead and take it easy for the rest of today. Give yourself the space for the energy to continue its work. It can continue sometimes even for multiple days. spend some time in nature if you can, and that's available to you. And perhaps even consider canceling some of the appointments that you might have today or in the days ahead, just to get the rest that you need. Thank you so much again for joining us, and thank you to the rest of the team. Blessings.